But my fifth favourite one. Now, you see, this is interesting because it brings back what you were saying with The Martian. If this was a list of purely what is the best film of the year, this one would easily be number one. It's Hard to Be a God.
Oh, I really want to watch that, yeah.
Hard to Be a God is, in terms of a film and how well constructed it is, it's perfect. It's one of the greatest films ever made in terms of shot construction, mood, just every single thing on it works perfectly. It is just a perfect film that's also epic and insane in a way you don't get very much anymore. It sort of harkens back to Apocalypse Now, or those crazy 70s visionary films, or like Fitzcarraldo. Yeah, like Zardoz. Well, Zardoz is like wimpy compared to something like what's the Werner Herzog film? Acquier, Wrath of God.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Have you heard how insane the making of that was? When they went into jungle with just on rafts and stuff. Yeah, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, on that kind of level, this is easily the best film of the year, without a doubt. The only problem is it's almost unwatchable in its brutality and horror. I could probably never watch it a second time, and I think just because of that, it just can't be number one.
Okay.
I just can't love it. It's a great film, and it's
hard to be a god and hard to love.
Hard to love, yes.
Yeah.
But yes, Hard to Be a God. Also, technically, it isn't even a 2015 film because it was made between 2000 and 2008.
Yeah.
But just released in the UK over here in that time. But yeah, Hard to Be a God. If you've not seen it, maybe check it out if you can stand it. It's certainly the best film to ever involve someone scooping poo out of someone's anus and put it in someone else's mouth.
It sounds like a John Waters film.
It's like a John Waters film if John Waters was Martin Scorsese. But yes, that is my number 5. What is your number 5?
My number 5 is Whiplash. Since this did technically come out in 2015 over here.
Yeah.
It was on a lot of 2014 lists, but we didn't get to see it until 2015. Yeah, I did a review very, very recently, so I'll just keep it brief. I thought I loved the way the film subverted the story expectations.
Yeah.
You hear a teacher and a mentor story, and the student's going to be like he's going to be great, but he's uncontrollable, and but the student's going to teach the craggy teacher how to live his life again. He's depressed and down in the dumps, and the bright spark of the young student's going to show the teacher how to live life to the fullest again. And I was thinking it was going to be kind of that, and it's not that at all.
No.
Just when you think it's going to go down that route, it completely changes about a third of the way through the film. Where J.K. Simmons, I thought the film was going to be, he's radical, but he gets results.
Yeah.
But he's a little bit disillusioned. He doesn't want to do it anymore. But no, the man was just a psychopath. Just an absolute sociopath who took pleasure in inflicting pain on...
A sadist.
A sadist, yeah. Inflicting pain on other people. Emotional pain as well. So J.K. Simmons is phenomenal in the film. And I actually really did enjoy the performance of... Mr. Fantastic.
Miles Teller.
Miles Teller, I actually really enjoyed his performance. There's something not quite right about him.
Yeah.
But we never address it in the film. And
No.
He's kind of got this kind of weird look to him, and it's a great performance. It's a great film. It's about an hour and a half, and it feels like 10 minutes.
Yep.
So yeah, Whiplash by number 5.
Right, my number 4, Bridge of Spies.
Oh yes.
I thought this might be your number 4 as well.
Nope.
Okay, well, Bridge of Spies, the new Steven Spielberg, Tom Hanks film. Really, really just... Who would have thought that this film would be this good, this entertaining, such a solid work of entertainment?
Mm-hmm.
It's about, as you were saying with The Martian, I think this film is pretty much that. It's just perfect, I don't want to give any of the plot away, because I think, as you've seen the film now, we will get into... There'll be a spoiler-filled review coming soon, probably straight after
We'll get in about an hour, yeah.
Yeah. But if you give away sort of what happens after the first half an hour, I think it could ruin the enjoyment for people.
I agree.
But fantastic performances, looks amazing, every single period detail is correct. Really, I think it's easily Spielberg's funniest film.
Definitely one of his funniest, yeah.
It suggests a new sort of path for him in sort of these kind of
He's
films.
attempted comedy before with
1941,
but
it's abysmal. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, it's awful.
No, all I've heard is basically that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's attempted it, but no one's ever liked it.
No. But no, this film just a really... It's probably one of Spielberg's... I would say it's one of his best films.
I think it is. Yeah, it's in my top 10 definitely.
It's in the top 10 definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the best films of the year. Also, probably the only one that's it is actually back in cinemas very briefly to coincide with its many Oscar and BAFTA nominations. So yeah, if you get a chance to see it, if you haven't already, go see it. Or if you have seen it, see it again. But yeah, Bridge of Spies, your number 4.
My number 4 is Mad Max Fury Road. A lot higher than you. I think I'm probably a bigger fan than you of B movies.
Yeah.
I adore B movies. I love C grade movies. I have this kind of morbid fascination with B movie aesthetics. I love films like Society.
I love Society.
Society's a great film. It's not like there's nothing acceptable about it at all. But like as a B movie, it's great, and I'm a big fan of John Waters. I love Faster Pussycat Kill Kill.
Russ Meyer films.
I love the Russ Meyer films. I'm a big fan of all sorts of and Troma. I'm a big Troma fan. For like its many childish excesses, I kind of really love those films. So I'm a massive B movie fan, and to see a B movie on a $150 million budget on the big screen with the best picture possible, the best sound possible, was an absolute kind of visionary treat.
Yeah.
I rewatched the film recently on my little TV, and the effect. It's best watched on the best sound system and biggest screen possible, but fortunately the effect wasn't completely lost. I still really, really enjoyed the film.
Did you watch it before your 5.1 speakers as well?
Yes, before the 5.1 speakers.
Imagine that, it would have been amazing.
It's going to sound amazing now on 5.1, yeah. I'm really eager to watch it again.
Did you get it on Blu-ray as well?
Yeah, on Blu-ray.
Apparently Blu-ray has better sound quality than the cinema.
No, that didn't surprise me at all. But I was watching, when I was watching Bridge of Spies, thinking, I could probably just watch this at home and it'd probably just look as good and sound as good.
Yeah.
Buy me in a cinema
to
watch it. But anyway, so I really loved the way they brought Mad Max back.
Yeah.
I like how he's kind of like a post-traumatic stress disorder casualty case. I like the main plot involving Furiosa taking these women across country. But the best thing I loved about the film most was the designs of everything.
Yeah.
I loved the look of the film. I love the design of the vehicles, the look of all the different weirdo bad guys, this kind of weird cult that they're having with Space Silver in their mouths, and I love the design of the villain. It was almost like a 2000 AD or heavy metal comic come to life on the big screen. Heavy Metal, that comic series where they made it into an animated film. It's like this but done right, like in live action on the big screen. So more for me personally, my kind of love for B movies and the way I think B movies, maybe deserve a bit more respect than what they get.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it. I love Mad Max Fury Road. It's a great film, and one I'll definitely go back to. And that's I can't with this list. It's definitely. I want to make it my list. I think with a lot of film critic lists, they all pretty much agree on the same films.
Yeah.
They always fall into the same category of all the high art films. And don't get me wrong, I love high art.
Yeah.
I love it as much as I love The Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
But there's different levels to film. Yeah. I think it's important to try and have an appreciation for the different elements that make up film. That's why film's so great, because there are different levels to it. And I think you need to have an appreciation of all levels and not just the Oscar-winning high art films.
If you put the 10 films on this list into a time capsule for future generations, you wouldn't want it all to be The Revenant.
Exactly. Yeah. Because if you had 10 Revenants, then what's the point?
Exactly.
You need an eclectic list.
Yes.
So that's my number 4.
My number 3 is a film that, as you say, you've not watched yet. It's Sicario.
Yeah.
One of the most acclaimed and also sort of mixed films of the year. This got really odd reviews. A lot of, again, people saying it was a classic, and some other people saying it was just a sort of average action film. Also, the director of this next film, you'll be interested in this, is Blade Runner 2.
Oh.
Yeah. He made, all he's done so far are arty dramas and my action film. He did that Prisoners.
Oh
with Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman. So all he's done is that so far, and then his next film's going to be Blade Runner 2, based on the success of Sicario, which was a massive hit financially. But yeah, a really great film about the war on drugs. I'm actually shocked this got made. It's incredibly brutal and violent and horrible and nihilistic. It's basically a really good review I read. Well, it wasn't even a review actually. I think it was a comment on the AV cover. It's essentially like a further extension of No Country for Old Men.
Alright.
Because it has the same sort of philosophy of, you know how No Country for Old Men is essentially about the difference between the 80s and sort of the 50s?
Yeah.
And it's about a decline in morals. Well, this film is essentially about how there never was a morality system, it was all false. Essentially, it's just about sort of the rule of like what drugs are doing to, I think it's Mexico they go to in America.
Yeah.
It's an incredibly powerful, albeit intense film. But yeah, Sicario. I honestly thought this was going to be number one, but again, just when I saw it, I thought no film can be as good as this. But there are two better ones. So what's your number three?
My number three is Bridge of Spies.
I could have guessed that.
Yeah. So yeah, I pretty much echo exactly what you've said about Bridge of Spies. Tom Hanks is I have a real like of films where they're about characters who don't use a weapon.
Yeah.
You know, complete opposite of Mad Max. I have a real like of films where the character uses their brains to solve a situation. There's something oddly charming and a little bit square, but kind of enthralling about Bridge of Spies.
Yeah.
You know, all Tom Hanks has got is a handkerchief and a suitcase, and he solves this major crisis.
Yeah.
I loved his performance in the film. We're doing a full review soon, so I don't want to give too much of how I felt about the film away. Great performance by
Mark Rylance.
Yeah, who played Abel, who was like the Russian agent that Tom Hanks has to defend.
Yeah.
It's just a great film.
Yeah.
It's just one of them. It's just 2.5 hours. It flies by in no time. Great performances all around. Beautifully shot. Well acted. Not much more you could want really from a big audience friendly drama film.
Yeah, it's the best of Hollywood filmmaking. Yes. So my number two. I'm gonna guess this is your number two as well. Actually, is it Inside Out?
No. Right. So
we might as well give both.
We might as well. Yeah. Okay. So
my number two is Inside Out, and my number one is Carol.
My number two is Carol, and my number one is Inside Out.
Yeah.
So I don't think how I can do this because we'll just be trotting ground here. I think.
Yeah.
How about you explain why Carol's your number one and mine's my number two?
Yeah.
Or maybe either way around. Why Inside Out's your number two and why Inside Out's my number one?
Yeah. Well, Inside Out is pretty much a perfect film. It's great for children and adults. Probably more weighted towards adults who will enjoy its melancholy tone and perfect mixture of moods. It's funny in places. It's heartbreakingly, tear-inducingly sad during some spots. Perfectly animated.
Yeah.
Has just perfect performances across the board. It's exciting as well.
Now, see, Inside Out, I watched Inside Out last night actually.
Did you?
Now, originally Carol was going to be my number one, without a doubt. I went back and watched Inside Out again and I changed my mind.
Yeah.
I decided to go with Inside Out as my number one because I can't think of any other film this year which has induced such a broad range of emotions from me, like the actual film itself.
Yeah.
I think the story is excellent, the characters are great, it's paced brilliantly, the animation is some of the best I have ever seen.
Yeah.
And this film can actually help people.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is true, apparently child psychologists are already using the characters of Inside Out to help children express psychologically troubled children to express their emotions. You know, I'm feeling joy, I'm feeling sadness. You know, which Inside Out character do you feel like?
Yeah.
So, the film is already actively helping people to better their lives.
Yeah.
Which is like the best thing a film could do, I think. And, you know, it just makes me think, you know, I have great joy that Pixar have made a great original film again. But it also makes me sad.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they did The Good Dinosaur and now they're only going to do sequels for the foreseeable future, which fills me with fear, disgust and anger all at the same time.
Yeah.
Mixed emotions, man.
Yeah.
But as a film itself, it's a classic.
Yeah.
Now, Carol's my number two.
Okay.
And Carol's your number one.
Yep. Well, what more can we say? We've already talked about this for about an hour.
The film's excellent. It is just absolutely brilliant. A powerhouse performance by
Cate Blanchett.
and by Rooney Mara as well. Just, yeah, Cate Blanchett, one of the best performances I've seen in recent years. Just all the subtleties and grace of kind of this disturbed, elegant woman. And the film doesn't progress in the way you expect it to.
Yep.
Amazing period design, excellent direction. You know, Todd Haynes has taken all these, you know, he stopped trying to be, look at me, you know, it's interesting seeing this and watching Velvet Goldmine.
Yeah.
Velvet Goldmine, yeah, reminds me of Boogie Nights, where he's a young director wanting to show that he can do anything. I can make these great films, and I've watched Citizen Kane, and I understand the structure of Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
And look at him now, he's like, oh no, I'm going to step back and just do nothing. I'm not going to be as like, look at me, I'm amazing. And then you step back, and he's just letting the actors do their thing, and he's just shooting the scenes in the best way possible.
Yeah.
Just an excellent film.
It is just, yeah, I can't think of any problems with it.
Nope.
That's just how good. I would say all 5 of the top films are pretty much perfect, just in different ways.
Yeah.
But yes, that's the top 10 of the year. Can 2016 be as good?
Well, you know, we got some this year. I think for film, just in general, I think we're going to have the ultimate burnout of superhero films.
Yeah.
I think one of them is going to bomb horribly. But in terms of quality films, we've got. I can't wait to see The Revenant.
I've already seen
You've
that.
seen it. I'm seeing it next
10
weekend.
out of 10.
I'm seeing Room this tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which I can't wait to watch. I'm sure there's plenty of great movies coming out this year.
Yeah.
The thing about this year with my list is the list was quite varied.
Yeah.
From kind of different kind of subsections of film. You know, high art, B movies, animation, foreign. You know, it's just film, man. You know, there's multiple levels to it. There's more than just one type of film.
Yeah.
You know, there's a vast world out there for you to explore. You know, people will always try and tell you that film has gone downhill, or we only make blockbusters, and we don't make them like we used to.
Which is ridiculous.
It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. If you want to watch quality films, you just look.
Yeah.
And you'll find what you're looking for. So I suppose that's the ultimate message from the list, with my list anyway.
Yeah.
That I wanted to emphasise that, you know, you can have different reactions to films, and it's okay to like something that's a little bit, you know, different or not as well regarded. You know, it's okay, it's fine. It's, you know, it's your list in it.
Yeah.
You know, no one should tell you what to enjoy,
what to like.
You know, it's up to you. So.
Unless if it's the Ridiculous Six.
Unless it's for Ridiculous Six, then you are the worst person in the world. So yeah.